Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
A very warm welcome in the third module of week 6 of the course Roadmap for Patent Creation, titled International Patent Classification. IPC, that is International Patent Classification. We can say IPC is a lingua franca language. That is what is the meaning of lingua franca language? It is a way of communicating something which is here a technology domain. So, we know IUPAC system which is used in chemistry, how the elements are nicely organized. So, similarly in IPC, the various technologies which are available are perfectly arranged in a particular hierarchical manner. The system is a universal system thanks to WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization. So, let us see now how it works. So, we will divide this into objectives of IPC, history of IPC, bodies of the IPC union, layout of classification symbol, hierarchical structure of IPC, principles of classification, classification procedure and basic question. So, we can see this IPC under these titles. We will see one by one, starting with what is the objective of IPC. So, the first objective of creating the IPC is that it can act as an instrument for an orderly arrangement of a patent documents in order to facilitate the access to the technological and legal information contained in it. I repeat, it is the what we can say instrument where what the thing is done, the orderly arrangement of patent documents is done. Why? To facilitate the access. So, it is a very planned activity. There are some parameters used to classify that things, accordingly that orderly arrangement is made, and what is the benefit of that? Easy access of the technological and legal information. Second, it is a basis for selective dissemination of information to all users. So, you can just what we can say whatever information you want, you can just click on that particular class section. We will see what that class is there, what that section is there, what group is there. So, it will be whenever you will click on that particular thing, you will get the selective information, that is whatever you want, that will be immediately popped up when you are using that particular what we can say title. Basis for investigating the state of the art in a given field of technology, we can say it is a basis for investigating the state of the art, means in short when you will see the IPC. So, for example, once we go through, we can have a small exercise and there we will suggest you to go through the IPC. Now, when you will go through the IPC, especially when you will focus on your interested domain wherever you are working on, then you can understand how nicely the technology things are classified and at what means at such a fine level that classification is there, that you will appreciate that this technology is so nicely what we can say grouped, and it is what we can say it is a source, or it is like giving you the state of the art whatever available in that particular domain. A basis for the preparation of industrial property statistics, which is in turn permit the assessment of a technological development. This IPC, it is a basis for the preparation of a industrial property statistics, which in turn permits the assessment of a technology development in the various areas. So, you can just whenever you will go through that what we can say the classification, you can see that which technology is developed at what level. All that thing, that statistical analysis, data analysis kind of thing you can do by using the IPC system. Means you just observe and you can guess, oh, this technology domain is developed up to this level, this technology is what we can say it is still developing, it is emerging. So, you can have that idea when you will see the international patent classification. Now, it establishes what we can say, this is a effective, the IPC is nothing but a what we can say, WIPO has established a effective search tool. It is a very effective search tool developed for a retrieval of a patent documents. Okay. Now, the effective search tool will figure out the novelty and it will evaluate the inventive step or a non-obviousness, that these are the criteria for the patent. So, this IPC will help you to establish the novelty, evaluate inventive step and then to check a non-obviousness of that technological disclosure in the patent classification, patent whatever the application is there. So, for example, what I want to say here is that when you will see the IPC, we have seen the bibliographic information which is present on the first page. Now, there you see the IPC classification, right. You see certain number there. How that number come, that you will get this idea now when you will go through this video. Now, what exactly happened when you will see that particular technology domain, you with the IPC you are knowing what is the state of the art and you are just adding up in the, through your invention you are adding up in that state of the art, right. So, what we can say when you have this effective search tool, this three criteria of a patentability, that you can just, what we can say, you can judge that thing by seeing this IPC. Okay. So, this is what the objective, this is what the objective of that IPC, right. Now, what is the history, how it is developed? The very first edition of the classification, that is a European Convention on the International Classification of Patents, it was in 1954. So, way back in 1954 it is started, and what we can say, it is a European Convention on the International Classification of Patents, okay, for invention 1954. Now, following that, the signing of a Strasbourg agreement, the international, what we can say, the International Classification of Patents for Invention, that had been published on September 1, 1968. So, it is started back in 1954, and after Strasbourg agreement, the International Classification of Patents for Invention published on 1st September 1968, okay, and this is called as a first edition of a classification, that is in 1968. Now, since then the classification has been periodically revised, because as technology is developing, it is taken into consideration and that technological classification is periodically revised. And now currently we are using 8th edition of a IPC that come into existence in 2006. So, that is the 8th edition we are using now. So, this is what in short the history of the IPC started in 1954 and now the 8th edition is going on. Next, what are the bodies of IPC Union, that International Patent Classification, which are these bodies who are taking care of this upgradation of the IPC? The principal bodies of the IPC Union are Assembly of the Committee of Experts. The IPC Committee of Experts has established a subsidiary body, the IPC Revision Working Group. Okay. So, it is a working group which revises the IPC. This IPC Revision Working Group is in charge of the revision of IPC, and they meet regularly twice a year in Geneva, that is where the office of WIPO is there. Okay. So, that meeting is twice a year. Now, participation is obviously open for every member and observers of the IPC Union. The administration of the IPC revision is carried out by the IB, that is the International Bureau of WIPO. So, whole administration of that IPC revision is done by WIPO IB unit. Okay. So, International Bureau of WIPO does that thing. So, this is in short who is taking the responsibility of that revision and maintaining that classification and upgrading that thing. Okay. So, these are the bodies. Next, that is a classification, how it is exactly presented. The whole body of knowledge which may be regarded as a proper to the field of patent or a invention. Now, how it is presented? So, there are what we can say the hierarchical levels. What that levels are? Section is there, then subsection is there, class is there, subclass is there, and a group is there. We can say that these 5 levels are there broadly. Now, how exactly it works? So, this layout of classification symbols. When we start with that classification, the upper level, that is a section. So, there are total 8 sections. Now, these sections are the highest level of hierarchy of the classification. Now, what is the symbol for that section? So, each section is designated by one of the capital letters, and it is starting from A through H. So, A, B, C, D, E, F, G and H. So, these are the capital letters, these are the symbols for the section. Now, the title. The section title is to be considered as a very broad indication of the contents of the section. So, we can say that it is at a very broad level the classification is there. So, you can just imagine it with what we can say the taxonomy, when you have seen in the botany or zoology in the school that there are classifications like animal kingdom, plant kingdom, and in that then you go further in the details. So, similarly you can say that a very broad level, that as just like a kingdom level you can consider this as a section level. So, it is like a very broad level and there are total 8 sections and the names are given very broadly. Okay. Now, there are these 8 sections. So, say A. When you say A, the section is a human necessities. The next is a B, that is a performing operations and transporting. So, anything related to that transporting, that will be classified under section B. The next is a C, that is a chemistry or metallurgy related things are there, that will be considered under C. The next D, that is a textiles or paper. So, anything which is related to textile paper, that will come under D. Then the next is a E, that is a fixed constructions. So, you can say anything civil engineering related, construction related. If you are interested in that thing, then you can go and visit section E. The next is F, that is a mechanical engineering, lighting, heating, weapons, blasting. So, if anything you are interested in that, you have to visit a section F. Then the next is a G, that is a physics. Any technology which is related to physics will be under section G. And the last one, it is like a H, that is a electricity. So, when we see this 8 section, that is A to H, you can see that broadly all technologies are covered, starting from human necessities up to the electricity, right. So, everything is covered. Now, within sections information is given, and that is in the form of a subsection. So, what happened now, this is a section and then next level is a subsection. So, within that section, the section have a symbol, that is A. Now, within that the titles are there, and that within that whatever the titles are there, that is called as a subsection. So, for example, if you see section A, that is a human necessities. So, section A to H, these are the section, 8 sections are there. Every section have a title, we have seen what are the titles. Now, each section, it may contain further subsections, right. Now, these subsections, for example, if you consider human necessities, how it is classified, or it is given the names at agriculture, foodstuff, tobacco, then personal or domestic articles. The next is health, life savings, amusement. So, whenever you will see the human necessity, right, you will see this 4 what we can say subsections. Is there any symbol for that? No. For subsections there is no symbol. Okay. So, whenever you are seeing the IPC classification on the first page, you say like you see that is A, then some number is there, then some slash is there, then some number is there, some symbol is there, some capital letter is there, something like that is there. So, you will not find subsection name there, subsection is not having any symbol. So, when you are seeing the IPC, you may not see, or you are not saying, I should not say may, you are not saying subsection, but you are just seeing the section and then the what we can say the class, which is a class. Whatever subsection part is there, as there is no symbol, when you will see the IPC, you will not see the subsection. Okay. So, subsection is nothing but a title and there is no any symbol. Okay. So, this is the what we can say section and subsection. Now, further, just if you see the hierarchy, you can just see if you want to see the number, it is always a section, then the class is given, then subclass is there, and then the group is there. So, as said, you will not say anything, any symbol related to subsection, and therefore, direct after that section you will say the class code, then you will say the subclass, and then you will say the group, okay. And then further that dot based classification is there, that we will see how it is. So, we have to just remember section, although subsection is there, it is not represented, right. So, then next is a class, then subclass and group, okay. So, this way the hierarchical arrangement is there, okay. Now, when we say the class, each section is subdivided into classes. So, we have seen that section, subsection is there. Now, that subsection is further divided into classes. Now, which are the, what we can say, the second hierarchical level in the classification. So, although subsection is there, no symbol, directly you will say the class, and therefore, in the hierarchy which is displayed here, you can see after section the class code is there. Now, this class symbol consists of a section symbol followed by a 2-digit number. So, always we have to remember that section is with a alpha, what we can say, it is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, right. Class is always a numeric and it is always a 2-digit number, right. So, it is a example, if you take H and 01. So, it represents as a, okay, section is H and class is a 01, okay. Now, the class title gives an indication what is the content of that class. So, here when we see the section, so for example, if you visit section H, what you will see? You will see the class as a H01, H02, H03 or H04, then H99. So, this kind of what we can say the class code, you can say a 2-digit number. Now, what is the meaning of that? 01 is a, it is for what? When if it is a, it comes as a H01, it is a basic electric elements. We know that H, it is for electricity, right. The last section, it is for the electricity, right. Now, within that section, that is a H, H01, it is a basic electric element, it is a class, okay. Then for example, if you see the H02, okay, it is a generation, conversion or a distribution of a electric power. So, anything which is any technology which is related to electricity generation or conversion of energy from one form to another or distribution of electric power, all this thing will be covered in a class 02. Then for example, if you consider the 03, so if it is a H03, so electricity and the class is 03, the meaning is that it is a basic electronic circuitry. Okay, so, something related to the electronic, it will come under this. Then next is a, for example, if you take H04, that is something related to electric communication technique. So, now you can visit the H, what we can say the section, and you can just see how it is nicely divided electricity into various classes. Okay, so, this is what we can say the H2, H, that is a section, and then the next, that is a 2-digit number, that is a class. Now, moving further, here that class index is also there. Now, some classes have an index which is merely an informative summary. So, if you visit the classification, you will see the summary for that class. Okay, so, what is that? Okay, this class is covering this, 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 and they will give you the pretty well idea what exactly is covered under that class. So, that is what the class index, obviously it is the information. Now, after class, the next is a subclass. Now, this each class comprises one or more subclasses. Okay. So, depending on how technology is growing, every class will be further divided into subclass. So, section, subsection, class, subclass. Now, here subclass is a third hierarchical level, although when we say section, subsection, class, subclass, it comes to be fourth one, but here it is a third because subsection is not having any symbol. Okay. So, the subclass. Now, the symbol, how it is presented, subclass. Each subclass consists of a class symbol followed by a capital letter. So, just like a section which is starting with a, what we can say, it is single alpha, what we can say a letter is there, a single letter is there. Similarly, this subclass is also a single letter, a single capital letter. So, that single capital letter represents a subclass. Okay. Now, the subclass titles indicates as precisely as possible the content of the subclass. So, if we take an example H01 and S. So, we know that H is for the section, 01 is for the class and S is for the subclass. So, what is the meaning of S? S is devices using stimulated emission, right, and what we know that H is for the electricity. So, section, class and S, that is a subclass which indicates that using the devices using a which are using stimulated emission. If anything related to that is there, then it will be under IPC classification H01S. Okay. Then subclass index. Again, just like a class index, this subclass index is a information. It is just broad, what we can say, broadly written what exactly the subclass, what is the content of that subclasses. Okay. So, this is what the subclass index is there. Then the next hierarchical level, that is a group. So, each subclass is further divided into what we can say the divisions, and that subdivisions are recorded as a groups, which are either main group, that is the fourth hierarchical level of the classification, or it may be a subgroup, that is a lower hierarchical level depending on the main group level of the classification. So, group and subgroup is there. Okay. So, main group title is precisely, it defines the field or subject matter within the scope of that subclass considered to be useful for search purposes. This main group symbols and titles are presented in a bold in the classification, right. So, for example, when we say H01S 3/00, then it represents a lasers, that is a that technology. Okay. So, this main group title, again I repeat, it is represented as a bold in the classification. Okay. Now, the next, if you see the hierarchical structure, it is just like this as you are seeing on the screen. Okay. Now, it is a tree like hierarchy. Fine. Now, we have seen that what it is: section, subsection, class, subclass, group and subgroup, and then that subgroups are there, right. Now, we will see one example here. Now, H we have seen as an example, right. So, H is like a section, that is a electricity, fine. Then we have subsection, but it is not represented because there is no any symbol. Next is a class. What is a class? Here it is a 0, 1. So, 0 if it is written, it is like a basic electric elements. If it is a what we can say, after that H01F, that single letter, it represents a subclass. So, if you see H01F, then you surely say that this invention is related to magnets. Okay, so precise now. Now, further group. So, main group is there. So, H01F1/00. If that kind of code, that IPC, if you see, what it denotes? It denotes magnets or magnetic bodies characterized by the magnetic materials thereof. So, you can just read that thing. So, it is something related to magnet, and that further they have elaborated that it is characterized by the magnetic material, right. Now, one dot subgroup, right. So, for example, if you go further, that main group is further divided into groups, and what that system is there? 1 dot, 2 dots, 3 dots, 4 dots, that kind of system is there, right. So, for example, if it is a 1 dot subgroup, so if it is a H01F1/01, instead of 00, if it is a 01, what is the meaning of? This is a inorganic materials. So, again how you will read it? You will read it as electricity, basic electric, what we can say elements, it is related to magnet, and then what we can say, it is related to the inorganic material. Okay. So, this is a meaning, magnet, and then it is related to inorganic material. So, one dot subgroup we have seen, and then you can just go through further. Okay. For example, 104, it is a metals or alloys. Then it is further, if you can say the 5 dot system. If 5 dot system is there, you can say it is related to alloys which are characterized by the composition, their composition. Further, you can say that there is a 6 dot group, right. So, in that way, based on the dot, that further classified. Okay. So, this is what the way the hierarchy goes, as a section, class, subclass, main group, and then the subgroup as a 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, and so on. Okay. Now, the next one, what is the principle? What are the principles of a classification? The primary purpose of the classification is to facilitate the retrieval of a technical subject matter. Okay. So, it is therefore devised and has to be used in such a way that one and the same technical subject is classified in two types of information may be found in a patent document. So, many times what happen that you will see, when you will see the document, if you just visit that bibliographic information page which is there in the reading material, you can see that there is no only single IPC is given. There are maybe 1 or 2 or 3 IPC might be given, that is a IPC, that is a international patent classification might be given. Why this kind of thing is there? Because the possibility is that the technology it can fall under human necessity, and it may fall under the electricity also. So, it can fall under section A also, and it can fall under section H also. So, if that kind of thing is there, you will see the classification as A and H both. Okay. So, but the thing is that, so whenever the IPC classification is formed or it is formulated, what care is taken that whatever the technology is there, wherever it will be considered in the section or in the class, obviously what the thing will happen, it will be classified under that thing. Most of the time you will see C and A, right, human necessities and the C together, means both kind of what we can say the IPCs which is having section A also, and which is a section C also. So, you have to decide whether which class you want to focus, means whether you are concentrating on human necessities or whether you are a chemistry person and you want to focus on a chemistry kind of what we can say the details of that chemical composition and all that thing. But obviously, that particular thing will fall into the both sections. Okay. Now, this information, that is invention information, you can get from that IPC, right. So, invention information, that is a technical information, right, that total disclosure of a patent document, it represents the state of the art, means IPC represents the state of the art, we have already seen, because all the patent documents, every document have a particular IPC. Who assigns that IPC? Examiner assigns, right. Now, what the thing happen? As soon as the patent will be considered for the granted, that IPC will be the that classification will be given, right. Now, you can say that as soon as it is considered for a grant, automatically that will enter into the state of the art, right. And therefore, you can say that okay, IPC represents what we can say the invention information, which is the state of the art. Okay. It is determined in the context of the state of the art using guidance provided by the claims of the patent document with a due regard given to the description and drawings. So, obviously, something is there, you are adding into that body of knowledge, and that will be represented by your description, that patent description will give that addition to that what we can say the technology domain. Okay. So, this is what the what we can say that the invention information is available, right. Some additional information to the state of the art is also provided. What is the meaning of that? Novel, unobvious, non-obvious, like writer, subject matter will be disclosed. Obviously, when you are thinking of a patent document, when you are granting a you are giving grant to the patent, you are giving grant because it is novel, non-obvious and it is having the industrial applicability. So, that particular document, is giving you the information about the state of the art, right, in the that IPC whatever is there, and then further whatever the addition is there, whatever that further inventive step is there, whatever the technological advancement is there, that technological advancement will be provided that by that particular patent document. Okay. So, this is what the additional information is given by that IPC and that patent document. Okay. Now, the next is a classification procedure. So, I have already told you that examiner, once that patent examination is completed, at the time of grant of that patent, that IPC code is given to the particular patent document. Okay. So, this is what the procedural part we should know, that this is the way the classification is assigned. Now, a few questions might come, that are there other patent classification system? We are focusing on here only on a IPC, right. So, yes, there are two important classification systems used in addition to the this IPC. The two, what we can say, the largest patent offices in the world, that is EP is there, European is there, USPTO is there. Yes, we can consider JP also, that is a Japan. So, they are that EP and US, they have a joint CPC system. So, IPC is there, international patent classification is there. EP and US, they come up with the system called as a CPC, that is a cooperative patent classification. Although you can note that for US, what we can say, the US patent office, they have their own classification system, but EP and US together offer a CPC. Japanese system is there, that is a FI system is there. Okay. So, these are the different classifications, but IPC is like a, what we can say, the when we are starting this searching of the patent document, we will just focus on the IPC, that is International Patent Classification, right. So, we have seen that just like a databases, there are so many databases are there. So, we say that okay, we will concentrate on eSpaceNet and then the patent scope to check PCT and all kind of thing, right, when we are considering the prior art, right. Because for FTO you have to visit obviously the patent databases of that particular country. Similarly, when you will say, oh, so many patents that classification systems are there, IPC is there, CPC is there, FI system is there, where we should rely? We should, these all are what we can say standard classification systems, but when we are starting, you can just consider the IPC, that is the International Patent Classification. Now, what is the language of IPC? In which languages IPC is available? English is obviously the standard language. It is also available in French, and then translations of that, because you have seen that under section, subsection is there, it is that information is there, class indexing is there, that information is there. So, whatever that information is there, English is what the standard language, French is there, then again it is classified into, it is available into various languages like Chinese language, Japanese language, Korean language, Portuguese language, Serbian language and Spanish language and so on. So, that IPC is available in many languages. Okay. How and where you can get IPC? Most important, the complete IPC is available online. So, if you just type on in the browsing window International Patent Classification WIPO, only these words if you write, because if you only write IPC, probably some other what we can say the search will be provided to you, or other thing may pop up. You clearly write down International Patent Classification WIPO. Immediately you will what we can say, you will be taken to that IPC, the classification 8th edition, and then you can see that it is very nicely arranged there, hyperlinks are there, and you can just click. Suppose you are a person who is working in a chemistry, you just click on see, and then you can just enter into the section, subsection, then class, subclass, group, and then you can go into the subgroup, and then you will appreciate, oh, the technology is moved in this way, it is so nicely classified, and in one click you can just see that, oh, this technology, only chemistry if you consider, oh, it is such a nicely classified, this technology is nicely classified. So, if you are an electrical engineer, you can just click on H and then you can enter within and you can see how the technology is classified under this section. Okay. You can download this classification easily, you can get that available, you can print it. So, IPC is easily available. So, now we have seen that, I guess this much information will be helpful to you. We have seen objectives, history, then bodies of that IPC union, then what is the layout of that symbols, how it is arranged, hierarchical structure, then what are the principles for classification, what is the procedure for classification, and a few basic questions, right. This is what we have covered, right. So, what you can do now here is that a small exercise. So, what you have to do is that we have this is like we have already started, you have already started with the keywords in your research area, right. So, because week 6, 7 and 8 we have to do some or the other activity with each, what we can say, each video you are observing and you are doing the some activity. So, you have started with the activity of taking the keywords, and then you have used ESpaceNet database to retrieve the patents in that particular area. Now, what you will do, whatever patents you have retrieved now, right, in your domain, you will check the IPC on the first page, right. Suppose you have retrieved very close 10 patent documents of your area is there, and you have retrieved say some 10 documents are there. Now, what you will do, you will visit all that 10 documents, you will see the first page, and you will write down clearly what is the IPC classification used there. So, now you will have one book with you when you are we have started, we have suggested you the 6, 7, 8. For that you will keep some separate book. You have started the management of your own research or project, whatever you are working. What you have done, you have started with writing down your area of interest and or the research already you are working on or you are planning, okay, you have already written. Then what you have done, you have you have written the search, that keywords whatever are there related to that domain. Then by using keywords you have done the search in the ESpaceNet and you have retrieved the document. So, this part you have done. Now, what you are doing, the next activity in this, that is a third activity after the third video, what we are doing, that you are taking out that first page and you are writing down the related IPC, whatever is there in that patent document. So, that is the next work you will do. So, if 10 patent document, you will get a 10 IPC, and then you will see, oh, although these you are saying that 10 thing, mostly the section might be the same, mostly the class may be the same, or maybe the subclass will be the same. So, maybe probability is that up to subclass level the same IPC will be there. So, you can just observe that thing, you can write down that thing, and then that whatever the subclass is coming, or if it is matching up to the section and what we can say the class level, you will visit that class level or the subclass level, and then you will see how exactly the technology in that particular area is classified. Okay. So, this is the small exercise you will do after this video. Okay. Now, here you just take a break and watch this interesting video. So, with this we come to the end of this session. In the next session we will meet and we will see further how it goes. See you in the next session. Thank you.